I find mathematics and algorithms and computer science beautiful. When one really understands a problem at its core, it suddenly becomes very clear.
Hi, my name is Melodie Roschman, and I'm the Communications Officer for Media in the Faculty of Mathematics. Today, I'm having coffee with a really special guest.
Hi, I'm Jochen Koenemann, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Mathematics. I'm also a Professor of Combinatorics and Optimization.
So, can you tell me a little bit about where you grew up? I'm assuming you weren't born in the Faculty of Mathematics full-blown as a professor.
No, neither in Canada. So I was born in Germany, as my accent truly gives away, in the north of Germany, western Germany, so near Hanover. In a very small town. My parents and my grandparents had a bakery there, so I grew up in that bakery.
How did you decide to become a mathematician?
As a kid, as a maybe 11-year-old kid, I got my first computer by my parents. A very simple thing as well. I started programming that thing, and I was absolutely excited by it. Programming languages and exploring that, and sooner or later I came into algorithms, and then I wanted to learn more about algorithms. And in my day, there was no internet, and there was no ChatGPT. So you had to order a book from somewhere or get a book from a library. So that's what I did. And I got through everything I could get my hands on, and read about algorithms. And from that point, pretty much it was clear that I wanted to study computer science. That's what I did. My goal was to get into robotics. That changed. Oftentimes you meet people that are influential, and they are great teachers. And my first professors were great teachers, I would say. They teach you about theory of computing. And so I got more and more into that and optimization after some while. And then I realized that without more mathematics, I could not do any meaningful optimization. So I decided to go and study during my grad school years. I studied more mathematics in Pittsburgh in the US.
We have so many stories, I think, like that whenever I talk to professors and graduate students, where they had this kind of vague idea of what they wanted to do as a field, but then you encounter a professor who really mentors you and shows you not only the roles that a professor can play in kind of creating the next generation of mathematicians, but also that they can help you discover things that you didn't even know existed, and are so exciting.
Yeah, it's important to be inspired.
So what brought you to Waterloo?
So interestingly, when I studied for my final exams in Germany, I used books that were written by people in my current department. So Bill Cunningham was one of the people that was very important for my department here. And he wrote one of the main textbooks for optimization. And I studied from that, so I knew about Waterloo a long time ago. And my final years in Waterloo, of course, I studied optimization. There, Waterloo is the only place in the world that has a department for optimization and combinatorics. So I knew about Waterloo then, and in my final year they had a job opening. I applied. Rest is history.
What's some of your favorite things about being in the Faculty of Math?
When you're here, you realize how many talented people are in the faculty. They're my colleagues in all kinds of departments. So I as I said, I have a computer science background. I'm also an optimizer, so my home department is combinatorics and optimization, but I also talk a lot to my colleagues in computer science. So the fact that we have both of these departments under one roof is amazing for me. So when I want to find a colleague that knows something or is an expert in a certain area, I can find it here. And this is maybe one of the few places in the world where that's possible, right? That's one thing that excites me. The other thing, whenever I talk to somebody, be it a student or be it a colleague, I learn something new. And I get excited about that new thing, and I want to get into it. I have lots of examples like that where a colleague here or a discussion with somebody here made me excited about something I didn't know before, and that's just great.
So tell me, you're pretty, not brand new now, you've had the summer to settle into being dean, but what does a dean actually do? And what do you want students particularly to know about how the dean helps them succeed?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, and I'm still trying to figure this out, right? So as the dean, you have multiple roles, and I usually divide that into an internal role, where essentially I make sure that our faculty functions as effectively and efficiently as possible. So that involves teaching, right? I oversee teaching, I oversee our staff, I oversee research, right? So research, there's collaboration in the faculty between various research teams. I make sure that there's as little friction as possible there, right? So that's all internal, making sure that we deliver world-class classes plus research. And externally, and this is an area I did not know as much before I became dean, I represent the faculty to the outside, right? And this means interacting with other faculties, other deans, interacting with the world out there, right? I mean, so talking to media and talking to donors, talking to alumni. So there's a lot of things that happen outside the faculty. Between my colleagues, Waterloo has, of course, math, but also many other faculties that do wonderful things. And I think there's a lot of stuff out there that we want to know about and we want to interact with as mathematicians.
All that work sounds really important and complicated and stuff like that. If students want to engage with you, are there ways that they can do that?
Absolutely. And this was one of the important things in the interview process leading up to the dean's role. I want to talk more to everybody in the faculty, and really, right? I mean, so in particular our students. And one thing that we will do is twice a semester we meet math SOC representatives, right? And this is very formal. So a group of students representing the students comes in and they talk about the things that they love and not love. I want to have my finger on the pulse when it comes to their happiness or unhappiness, right? So that's one thing. There are lots of informal events that I take part in. So the MUO is running a whole lot of things. I mean, so they're serving ice cream or doing Pi Day. So I'm going to be there for that as well. But then also there's the informal things. There are some colleagues of mine, former colleagues of mine that were deans as well, that told me that they like to just simply walk through the buildings of our faculty and bump into people. I mean, whether it's students or other colleagues. So I'd like to do that as well, and I'm trying to do that already. And whenever I meet somebody on campus that I know or that wants to talk, I'm happy to do that, always.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Open door policy, yeah.
So kind of switching gears a little bit to some more fun questions. On the topic of coffee, how do you actually take your coffee? And other than the C&D, do you have a favorite coffee shop here in town?
The C&D I definitely love. I like coffee. I drink maybe too much of it. And I like it black for the most part. I drink every morning. I drink a coffee at home. My setup at home has an espresso maker and a grinder, so I get my beans somewhere locally, right? And I love that, right? It's maybe it's the process part of it and the taste too, of course. Yeah. I live to the north of Waterloo, so I drive through St. Jacobs. Eco Cafe is one of the coffee places there. It's really nice. It's a great place to sip a coffee and to read a paper.
What do you do for fun?
For fun, lots of things. So, if I can, yeah. So I love sports. I love running. I do this with my kids partly. It's the easiest thing to do, right? I mean, you need a pair of shoes and that's all, right?
If you're going fast enough, Dad can't tell you about algorithms.
Exactly. But nowadays, my kids are getting faster, so they are at the point where they are too fast for me, unfortunately. So I'm getting slower too, that's fair to say. And I like to play volleyball also. Tonight, for example.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's one thing I do. The other thing, if I can, I like things with my hands, right? Practical things. I like cabinet making, so I do woodworking. I've done all kinds of furniture for the house, right? I mean, that kind of stuff.
Do you have a favorite or least favorite depiction of mathematics in pop culture?
Least favorite, maybe. Yeah, so when you see like A Beautiful Mind, for example, right? So a person stands in front of the board, lots of formulas on the board, right? And then at some point they start swirling and the answer is clear, right? This makes it look like some divine intervention, right? And it comes very quickly, and practice is different, right? You work on something, you study something for a long time. It's very collaborative. Usually, you talk to other people about it, and then an insight develops, right? So the real process of solving things and finding solutions is much less on the spot, like in these movies.
Not like a single eureka moment.
No. When you talk to people, I mean, they usually seem to imply that that when you love math or you're good at math, you must also be a nerd and you must also be socially absolutely uninteresting, right? And that is just complete nonsense, right? It's absolutely non-true. I mean, from the people I have met anyway.
If you did a completely different career, what do you think you would have done and why?
Yeah, so as I said, I grew up in a family that ran businesses, right? I mean, so a bakery in my case, but in my family there's lots of different entrepreneurs. So I think I have a natural tendency to go for entrepreneurial things. So I would probably run some business. I could imagine running a bakery. I could imagine running something bigger as well, right? I mean, so it's something that I mean, so being so bias for action comes to mind, right? I mean, that's the kind of thing I would like to do. An important thing for me is always to be close to people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like talking to people, interacting with people. That's, I think, when I do best and I learn the most and I'm most excited. So this is what I would do in any job that I would do, I think.
Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you for talking to me. Yes, it was great.
Awesome. And thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Coffee with the Dean. Yeah. Please don't use that. And thank you.